One final portfolio review for this 2025-2026 season. We are going to recap the Super Bowl, spend a good 45 minutes on that halftime show. I'm sure we'll talk about Showdown DFS contests, playoff best ball, splash, guillotine, all of it as we close the book on a year. It was a year indeed. I'm Pete Overzet. This is a portfolio review. Let's do it one final time.
I suffer from a debilitating condition known as atropic chokitis.
Peter's one of the greatest depositors I've ever seen.
Trust the process. Let's go. Let's go.
I got auto matched with Levitan. This is bullshit.
If I just go the other way in that 66, I win all the money. All the money.
If I had 150 lineups, I'd win too.
Process over results.
Illuminati make a bitch go crazy. I don't know which one of these my baby. Bust out AP, crash 5 bullets in your head like KD. Bust it, bitch go bust it. And I had 10 pints with me in Russia.
Hey everyone.
Hey everyone, indeed. Man, it feels good to be back at my desk for a portfolio review. If you recall, last week's show got postponed multiple times, and then I found myself at the library. And I did admit it was fun building pick'ems at the library. It was quite the thrill, but it's always good to be back here where I actually have my coffee, which I do think that's the number one place to start here. If we are doing a portfolio review, the next time I do a coffee pour on these airwaves, we will be drafting 2026 best ball teams. I'm not going to commit to a date that we will be doing that, but I do feel comfortable saying the next time I pour coffee on these airwaves will be right before I hop into my first 2026 best ball draft. But no more edging here. Here's the coffee pour, the post Super Bowl coffee pour. There we go. There we go. You know what? I just realized too. I think I was, my wife is from New England. She's a New England Patriots fan. I won't rat her out, but she did go to bed at the end of the third quarter. She didn't see that one through, but that's just between us. Don't tell her that I ratted her out. However, I just realized we were out over the weekend and we got Starbucks, and I realized Lauren ordered the Pike's Place dark roast, I believe, when we were at Starbucks. Of course, Pike's Place, a Seattle institution, and I'm just realizing that could have been the difference. I think that was the difference there. She should have stuck to her Dunkin' Donuts. The New England Patriots in America runs on Dunkin'. She turned her back on it, and she was rewarded with a big L there. Let's catch up on the chat here. Z-Bird says, give Brick 75 all the credit. The AJ Barner shout out made me some coin yesterday. You know what? I forgot about that. We did the show on Thursday with Brick and Yuta and Ship My Money, and Brick had the alpha that AJ Barner's Madden card was pointing to a very strong Super Bowl for him. And he looked good. He scored the touchdown. So there you go. Fade Brick at your own risk. Matthew wants to know if anyone has heard from Karain about his BFF Drake May. Man, what a swing of events for that man. I mean, I wrote about it in the newsletter last night. I mean, this dude was one first place vote away from winning the NFL MVP on Thursday night, and then played the worst game objectively by EPA in Super Bowl history. Just a stunning string of events there for Drake May. He's going to be fine. He's 23. They're going to fix that offensive line. I mean, the offensive line is bad if I'm noticing it. Like, I'm barely watching the offensive line when I watch football. I'm not a ball knower like that. I just, where's the ball? Where's the ball? Where's the points? But even I noticed how Will Campbell was just getting tossed around like a rag doll in that game. That dude was a turnstile there. They got to fix that, but I'm sure they will. They got a lot of time. What is up, AJ? What is up, Josh? Holy Hannah. Lucas coming in hot. A $50 super chat. Cheers. Lucas says, thanks for an awesome season, elite content, and elite community. I appreciate that very much, my dude. It was a very fun season. It was up and down from a DFS standpoint, but had a blast hanging and sharing it with all of you guys. We got Ryan in the chat, took down the UD employee playoff best ball contest. There you go, Ryan. Congratulations. Anytime you're taking down Numi and Hope and who else is a crusher in those underdogs? I think the Red Mamba, I know, as well, is always at the top there. So congratulations, Ryan, for getting that Job done. What's up, TD, Garage, Steven? Min Cash Merchant joins mid-pour and gets the chills. That's how we like it. That's how we like it. Nick, a noted Bills fan, says you just hate to see the Patriots fans miserable. Hate to see it, I tell you. I found myself rooting for the Patriots a little bit for a couple of reasons. What do they say? Happy wife, happy life. But also because there was such an overwhelming consensus that Seattle was going to roll, that my kind of little contrarian itch started to kick in. And I'm like, I think I just wanted it to be a good game. I just wanted to see points. And guess what? I was rewarded with none of that. I was rewarded with 5 Jason Myers field goals. I was rewarded with the Patriots not even understanding the concept of a first down. I was rewarded with Drake May looking like a baby deer in the headlights for 60 minutes. But you know what? It is what it is. Shout out to the Seahawks, though. That defense was incredible. And you know what? I found a little bit of joy in watching how good their defense was. I even thought it was cool. Christian Gonzalez made some plays there and looked awesome. I thought like a fun storyline in that game could have been the Pats passing on JSN to select Christian Gonzalez. I thought for sure in that draft when JSN was falling, I'm like, come on, New England, this is your chance. You finally had your chance to land an elite wide receiver at a palatable cost. I think they had pick 17 in that draft. And they took Christian Gonzalez. And I thought, oh man, that would be kind of a juicy storyline if JSN absolutely torches the Patriots in the Super Bowl, little revenge dagger for passing on them. But, JSN gets hurt, leaves the game with a concussion, doesn't do much. And Christian Gonzalez, holy shit, man, he was, if the Patriots would have won that game miraculously, I don't know how that would have happened, but Christian Gonzalez certainly could have made a case for MVP in that scenario. Chris says Seahawks were just inevitable this year. Yeah, they really were kind of the best team start to finish. And I think for everybody, right, it's just like you have in the back of your head, it's Sam Darnold, right? When's the meltdown coming? When are the ghosts going to be seen? Like it's going to come at some point, right? And then it just never came. The defense was dominant. The running game was dominant. You have what I think is probably the best wide receiver in football. I'm sure we'll spend the entire offseason arguing about Jamar Chase and Puka and JSN. But yeah, I mean, they had everything in place. And shouts to the Seattle Seahawks. What's up, Who Hames? What's up, Yosh? Stephen Burr says that last Henderson catch dropped me from 3rd to 14th in the Swolecast tiers. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll pull that up here in a little bit as well. Yeah, all kinds of kind of what could have been stuff watching that game, thinking about, teams that could have made it to the Super Bowl. Crutch is talking about a DK Denver Seattle team would have won a milli had Bo Nix not died randomly. Yeah. And it's also like, holy cow, how many points would the Rams have scored in that matchup as well? I'm not sure how they would have fared offensively, but certainly seems like the Rams would have crushed in that game as well. Pete says the UD Masterclass was a huge help this season. Thanks, Pete Nez. And John can't wait to apply to baseball. Yeah, man. Glad to hear that. Glad to see so many people had success with that in the underdog streets. And yeah, a lot of the principles in that course are very much applicable to other sports there. What is up, Achievers? Unfortunately, the pick'em we built on the pick'em bash did not hit, but at least we got it in. At least we were able to dream for a couple of days on 138 Xer. I'll get some stuff pulled up here in a second. I don't think I won a single pick'em. Now, those were heavily skewed toward long shots, so that's somewhat to be expected, but it would have been nice to get a single cha-ching in there. I think the one cha-ching I got over the course of the weekend was in the Badge Bros channel in the Discord. I believe it's Jacob. Jacob is an outlaw thought leader, and he had a pick that he shared in the Discord, which is another reason you guys should be in the Deposit Kingdom here. That hit there. And so that was my one cha-ching. Logan Schuchart and Anthony Macri at the SPT DeLeon Springs. I still don't even know what sport this is, but it was a pick'em winner. So make sure you guys are in the Deposit Kingdom Discord for when our members are casually blessing us with pick'em locks. Kevin likes my UD hat. Yeah, they sent me this one with the big puffy 90s starters jacket one. I very much like it as well. All right, let's pull up some contests here. We are going to kind of run through things how we normally do. I did play, I would say, a decent amount of showdown lineups. I played micro stakes, just the mini max, the $1, the $3, and I was just having fun building a lot of lineups. And it's a good thing that I didn't play anything higher stakes because I did not win. I did have a lot of fun though, putting the lineups together. I was using Run the Sims and the solver, and basically the angles I kind of played were, I built sets of lineups with 5-1 Patriots. You know, I was talking to Cody about that on After Dark. Thought that was going to be really underutilized. And there was a reason why it was underutilized, but built a lot of 5-1 Patriots captain teams. I then built a ton of Sam Darnold captain teams. I thought that was one of those spots where the field was overly confident in the JSN Ken Walker captains, and that the Sam Darnold stuff had some paths to getting there. So I played that. And then I did a set where I ran min 3 defense and kicker. So I included the captain slot for it. And I said, I want 3 of Myers, Borregales, Seattle D, and New England D, however you see fit. And I thought that batch might have some legs there for a while. But, you know, Borregales and Patriots D kind of sold that one out. And then what else did I do? I did a run where I basically removed Mack Hollins and just played and boosted Demario Douglas, locked Demario Douglas, kind of saying, hey, the field is going to be overconfident on Mack Hollins. Another assumption the field was completely right on. And I was not rewarded for my Galaxy Brain Demario Douglas play. But that is how it goes here. We can see what took down the big tournament. I did have a handful of entries in the big $20 here, so we can see what you needed to win $1 million yesterday. I don't believe it was chopped too much. Let me see here. Where's the $20 one here? Trying to find it. Here we go. All right. Who took this one down? I saw Brosonosaurus Flex was up there for a little bit, and then I think it changed at the last second. Honestly, not bad. Just 2 teams here splitting the milli up top. So Yay Sports Ball, nice name there, and DD Dry, or D Dry here, each come home with $575,000 with this lineup that was Seahawks D, Drake May, Kenneth Walker, Rhamondre Stevenson, Myers, and Hollins. And man, this is how sick this game is. Like, by every metric, obviously by the score, just the Seahawks just absolutely demolished the Patriots in that game. You would think on the surface, okay, it would be a 5-1 Seahawks build, right? But the way the garbage time stuff played out, specifically with the Mack Hollins touchdown, and you actually get a 3v3 build here. What a funky team, but I do see how this gets home. Seahawks D and captain Myers and Walker. That was really what you needed on Seattle. I guess it's maybe a little bit of a surprise that Barner didn't sneak in here. Was Barner in the next one? No, the next lineup just had a Ken Walker captain instead of Seattle D captain. Seattle D scored what, like 1.25 more points. This was a big train in second place, or third place, I guess. About what, 27, 28 teams that had that. And then, and then this one was the same team except a Drake May captain. And then you got to go down to, I guess this would technically be the 4th team here, that finally had AJ Barner. So you could have gotten on a Ken Walker, Myers, Barner, Seahawks with Drake May to Mack Hollins. So that lineup makes a decent amount of sense there as well. But needed the Patriots pieces. Pretty crazy for Drake May. I mean, he was so bad in that game. The fact he got to 20.5 points seems like a miracle to me. Seems like an absolute miracle here. Steven shares a hometown with Kenneth Walker. Yeah, Kenneth Walker, very deserving of that MVP. That was actually one of my few wins on the slate. I wrote about it in the Fantasy Life newsletter. I thought the kind of the odds on Darnold relative to Ken Walker and Jackson Smith and Jigba were a little too short, or that gap was a little too wide. And so I did a sprinkle on both JSN and Ken Walker to win MVP. So that was nice to get a little dub there. It would have been very funny. I know everyone wanted Jason Myers to get the MVP there. Unfortunately, Kenneth Walker just too good. 135 rushing yards there, gets the 100-yard bonus on DraftKings, which certainly helps his cause. Chris, where did Patty Millions finish with 8 live players over on DK? Yeah, he was talking about that lineup on Ship Chasing. I have no clue. I was not in any of the DraftKings best ball contests, so maybe someone else who is in one of those contests can tell me where he finished. I know he didn't have JSN on it, so I would assume he did decent, but I have no clue. It's a massive field, so even doing well might not have resulted in much cash, but I do not know. Crutches is all in on the one and done streets. Yes, I need to get my shit together in the Rick Run Good one and done streets. You know what I should do? I should book Rick Run Good for an after dark or a show here. Help get my feet wet in the golf streets as well. Chris says Mack Hollins was the only under catches over yards guy to hit yesterday. Oh yeah, that was kind of the fun meta for building the pick'ems, under catches over yards. Yeah, I mean everything about kind of how the utilization was trending for him pointed to that kind of game where he's just the clear, number 3 out there with Booty in Diggs once he was fully healthy, and they were kind of just ramping him up in the AFC Championship game. But this is the thing that's just so sick about playing Showdown, right? It's like we all identify. I mean, I went on the Swolecast on Tuesday and I was like, I think Mack Hollins is the best play. And then it's like, well, yeah, it's going to become the uber chalk that everyone wants to jam. And then when you're talking about a guy who has a high ADOT like that, who is still going to be a rotational player, it's like you can't jam that, right? Like you got to take shots on Demario Douglas, on Booty, on even Kyle Williams, guys who have a similar role and are going to be dependent on 1 or 2 deep targets. You know, if that's Pop Douglas, if it's Booty, you know, the slate is completely different, and some of the contrarian bros get there, but that's just how she goes. That's just how she goes. Pop Douglas did have a decent game though. Wasn't too upset by that angle. Let me see what did he finish up with there? He would have needed the touchdown to make any showdown noise, but he caught a few balls, right? It was like that second play of the game or something. He looked like he had some juice there. He made that guy miss. I was like, is this going to be a Pop Douglas game? Yeah. Second in that game in receiving behind Mack Hollins. So Mack Hollins 4 for 78 in the tutty. Demario Douglas goes 5 for 45. And then Rhamondre as well ekes out that touchdown at the end, 5 for 40 on the ground there for Rhamondre. Okay, thank you. Crutches, for people wondering about Pat's team, Pat finished in 18th place with 83.3 for 2,500. The rich get richer. So there you go. There's your Patty Millions DK best ball update. I think that's about it for me on Showdown. Like I said, I splashed around. I had fun building some lineups. I did not come close to sniffing a sweat, and that's just kind of how it goes. That is how it goes. Congratulations to the winners over on DraftKings. Let's check on some underdog stuff. We can scroll through the Pick'em graveyard if we'd like. I don't even think there was anything that close to hitting. But again, I had a blast, the friends I made along the way. What was this one? I mean, I made so many pick'ems that I don't even remember where they were. Settleman tagged me on Twitter yesterday being like, this one spoke to me. And I was like, I don't even remember when that pick'em was made. And he's like, you made a social clip about it. And I was like, oh, it was the library one. Let's see here. This one was close to hitting. Drake May, higher pass yards. Trevion Henderson, higher receptions. And then, Kenneth Walker, lower rush yards. Yup. That one didn't hit. Let's see if any others that were close here. This was like the core one that I liked via the Fantasy Life projections. It was Drake May, lower rush yards, which actually hit by a half a yard. He had 37. The line was 37.5. I think it ended up inching up to 38.5 too. So I got this one earlier in the week. Ken Walker, I had higher. And then the Fantasy Life projections liked Rhamondre over his rush yards at 50.5. That obviously didn't work out. Should have taken the fantasy points there on Rhamondre and had a couple extra outs there because he cleared his fantasy point line pretty easily with all those catches in the touchdown. But that is just how it goes. I'm trying to remember some of these other ones. Kenneth Walker, No TD, Drake May, sacks taken. Oh, I believe this was this might have been our off and on the clock core from 2 weeks ago. I mean, this is just a blur. I feel like I was a different human when these pick'ems were placed. That's how long ago it was. I did one that was Drake May and Sam Darnold to both throw interceptions. That didn't hit. Oh, this was my small ball one where I liked playing the no. This was another off and on the clock one. Cooper Kupp higher fantasy points. Drake May, Nez was all over higher 3.5 sacks taken. And then George Holani sold us out here. I'm actually kind of pissed that Holani couldn't clear this number in a game that they were absolutely dominating and were having so much success on the ground. But this kind of illustrates that there's a pretty big gap in talent between George Holani and Kenneth Walker. So thanks for nothing there, Holani. Anything else that was close? Here was a booty. A Barner. Oh, this was my freebie. I used JSN, Barner TD, and then a booty TD. That was a bummer there. Demario Douglas. Oh yeah, this was one I had done. I think I shared this one in the Discord. They did a flash boost. And I slid Demario Douglas up to 49.5, which was the max. He ends up getting to 45. This would have been very tilting to lose if Rashid Shaheed did score a touchdown. And then Douglas was just 5 yards short of hitting his ladder there. But yeah, lots of green and lots of red there, which has kind of been a theme for me, Super Bowl pick'em. I don't think I've ever had a good Super Bowl pick'em showing there. All right, let's look at some of the playoff best ball stuff. We can look at the couple dead teams I had in there. I'm sure you guys would love to see that. And then we can go to BBMDB and see what actually won. Ended up clawing back a little bit of money here because I did have some Patriots players going. I assume I had Rhamondre on 3 of these teams. So yeah, Rhamondre helped get me a little bit of money in the gauntlet finals with these 4 teams. Had a Rhamondre Hunter Henry team, had a Rhamondre Booty team, had just a Rhamondre team, and then I had a fully dead team that scored 0 points. But this was actually a pretty big sweat in the gauntlet for the guys at the top of the leaderboard. There was a lot of movement at the end of the game, both with the Rhamondre TD and then those Henderson yards at the end. So there was some shuffling up here. PhD ends up taking it down, $500,000 solo shipper. I know there was always like all this fear that there's going to be so many dupes and all of this stuff. I mean, look at the top of the board, like no dupes up here, 72.4, 71.8, 65.7, 63.6, 63.1, which is kind of crazy because you would think with a bye week Super Bowl team that the rosters would have been even more heavily condensed on a group of players and there would have been more dupes, but a decent amount of variety here at the top. And PhD has both quarterbacks, which, you know, comes in really handy, had both Rhamondre and Kenneth Walker. And then the kind of the big differentiator piece you wanted was Mack Hollins. So Mack Hollins at 1.2%, scoring 15.8 and being the highest scoring wide receiver in the game. That ended up just being a massive advantage, not having JSN there and being able to play the Mack Hollins score. So shout out to PhD. How sick is that? 500,000, $500,000 playing playoff best ball on Underdog. And Fantasy Grinder, man, want to talk about a dude who had a massive year. Fantasy Grinder, man, this is like close to the Triple Crown for NFL because he won the BR. I think it was week 2 or 3. Then he qualified for the Dawg Bowl and then finishes second in the gauntlet for $250K. What a monster year for Fantasy Grinder. He had the May, Walker, Rhamondre, Mack Hollins, Hunter Henry. And so he was just, what did he get edged by? Was it Diggs? Just barely outscored Hunter Henry. So Diggs at 5.2 and Henry at 4.6. So that was the difference there, was PhD having Diggs in his arsenal alongside Henry. But still, what a year for Fantasy Grinder, $250,000 there. Man, you think you're having a great season, winning the BR for like $50K, qualifying for the Dawg Bowl. And it's a fraction of the winnings of coming in second in the gauntlet for $250,000 there. And then BFFL here had all 3 running backs, Drake May, Rhamondre, Ken Walker, and Henderson. But because of the flex dynamics, Henderson can't even score for him here and ends up playing the Cooper Kupp and Diggs points there at wide receiver. Just needed Mack Hollins. That's kind of the differentiator there. We got our guy Mossy from the Discord, who also is having a huge year, including a $1 million win over on FanDuel earlier in 2025. He had May, Walker, Rhamondre. Ooh, had the Demario Douglas. See, so this is like Mossy ships this if it's Douglas who scores that touchdown instead of Hollins. So again, very sick sweat for these guys. The margins are so thin. A lot of duplicated stuff, obviously, with Walker and Rhamondre, just because those were the guys you needed to advance Seattle and New England pieces. And then it all comes down to who's the 1.2% guy you have. The 1.2% guy here, Mack Hollins, hits for PhD. Demario Douglas at 1.2% in the finals, doesn't hit for Mossy. But man, that had to have been a fun sweat. I don't know if Mossy's watching right now, but maybe it was a miserable sweat. But just knowing that Demario Douglas was heating up a little bit there, and if he scores, you are sitting pretty. And then our guy Limehouse, poor Limehouse, I pulled up his lineup last week over on bbmdb.com. He had the most projected points heading into the gauntlet finals and had to stare at that expected value all week heading into the game, and then can't get it done here. He also had Demario Douglas. He had the double quarterbacks. He had the Rhamondre, Kenneth Walker, so he was good there, but didn't have enough at wide receiver. The JSN stuff really hurt him. 4.7 points. Demario scores 7. And again, if it's Booty who hits on that big TD, it's probably him running away with this. Instead, it's Mack Hollins and some of these other teams jump him. But still a pretty strong finish there, $25,000 for Limehouse. And congratulations to everybody else who crashed the leaderboard here. Fantasy football is fun, all of that. Did any of you guys have any success in the side contests here? You can see who won, who took down the mitten here. Mr. Fisher. Not sure I recognize that username, but 50,000 in the mitten. Let's see here. Darrow in the mitten 2. Bare Knee 22 in the mitten 3. How sick is this that like there was so much thirst for playoff best ball that there was a $50,000 top prize for mitten 3. Really sick stuff. Little Mitten, who took down the Little Mitten? Idirty. Man, so many names I don't recognize these days. Yeah, Prawley takes down the Little Mitten too. I guess we're just committed to giving everybody their flowers. Big Mitten, Isoif here. This is what happens when you play in the smaller field, higher stakes stuff. You can win $20,000 with Sam Darnold, Kenneth Walker, and Rashid Shaheed. So there you go there. Congratulations. 3-person final there in the Big Mitten. Let's see, what do we have in the bigger mitten? Manta Ray takes it down for 100,000. Fantasy football is fun. He was in the Deposit Kingdom Discord or the Ship Chasing Discord, showing this screenshot. 50,000, not too shabby. Congratulations there. Fantasy football is fun. Let's see, the biggest mitten. Ja 15C takes down 20,000. There's K-Bash from the Discord. Eli Reasons in the Discord there. Had nice finishes in the biggest mitten. Biggest mitten 2. This was the one that why I'm blanking. Neil and I had a chance at making the finals here. Bezigs, also in the Ship Chasing Discord, takes this one down for 20,000. Just had the 4 New England players there, May, Rhamondre, Diggs, and Booty, enough to get it done there. Congratulations in the biggest mitten 2. Who won some of these early ones? The Summit. We had Hussein Nakdar, if I pronounced that correctly. Way too early wild card. Oh, wow. A 1-2 finish? Now that is sick. B. Galucci in the way too early wild card, not duped, but wins first and second. what a nice showing there. Must have been all over a Patriots and Seattle Super Bowl. Good stuff, man. Sweeping the top 2 spots there in the way too early wild card. And then I did not play the returns contest, but let's see here. There was a lot of dupes in this one. Holy cow. 15 teams scored 73.9 points in the returns. So lots of dupes there, but I'm sure everybody's still happy to take home their $12,617. Same thing, the 73.9 dupe fest in the mitten returns, the big mitten, no 73.9 here. And the bigger mitten returns, Hog Wild takes it down 20,000. There's copper prices, 15,000 there. Not as many dupes or even close to as many dupes in the higher stakes ones. All right. I think that is about it for playoff best ball. What a year though for playoff best ball. I mean, interest absolutely exploded there. I think a pretty good outcome as far as, not having a ton of dupes in the main gauntlet and the mittens there. I think the one bye week team gives you a lot of variety and paths to getting home. So yeah, excited to run that back next year. Tub Productions got 18th in the mitten too. Congratulations. Chase just happy to make the finals. That's all. You know what? It's a good attitude, right? We always all say, we just want to sweat. I just want to sweat, man. Well, guess what? You make it to the finals, you have a sweat. There you go. All right. I believe that is it for playoff best ball. Who took down the FFPC? We were not in contention, so I kind of stopped looking at this. But a solo shipper here, Dart, takes it down. This is what you needed over there. This is for those of you guys who don't remember, this isn't a draft style contest. You just pick one player from each team and you end up having 2 fades of teams you don't utilize. And there's a lot of interesting dynamics, both with ownership and kind of relative positional scoring, which is why a quarterback, you don't need, Drake May, even though he played, 4 games or whatever. You need the player who separates the most from his teammates and from the rest of the position. So that's Rhamondre in this case. But here's the winning team you needed: Allen, Barkley, McCaffrey, Puka, JSN, Colson Loveland, RJ Harvey, ETN, Rhamondre, Christian Watson, Houston defense, Ryan Fitzgerald, and then you fade the Chargers, fade Pittsburgh there. Congratulations to Dart there over in the FFPC, who took down the 35. 35 Warrens. Warrens takes it down here. Similar team, I assume. Almost the exact same team, except he has Parker Washington instead of ETN, and then has Chris Boswell instead of that other kicker. So there it is, guys. A wrap on the playoff contests here. Let's check in on Splash. So we did have our tiers contest there. I think it was Steven in the chat was referencing that. Thank you to everyone who participated. We filled our final tiers contest of the year. The good people at Splash hooked us up with a 10K guarantee, got this prize pool up to $1,500 to first. This is what you needed to take it down. Kenneth Walker here. And what was his ownership? Thought what it would where does it show me the ownership there? I will have to I thought it used to show on that card. Anyways, Kenneth Walker in tier 1 obviously needed him over JSN. I guess it was kind of close with Drake May. Tier 2, you needed Rhamondre, 17.3 points. I did not have enough AJ Barner in tier 3. He scores the 15.4. Mack Hollins was obviously the nuts in tier 4 here, 17.8. And then Trevion Henderson, we asked Splash to give us this final 5th tier with all the really gross plays. And it's a little bit of a bummer because you knew Henderson was going to be the mega chalk. I ended up doing a decent amount of Holani in Demario Douglas. You can see there, I had a lot of Holani, just a sprinkle of Henderson. Was going to try to play the ownership game there. My best team finishes in 23rd. I had the Walker Stevenson, but Cup instead of Barner, Mack, and then Holani instead of Henderson there. But fun year playing tiers. Lots of similar strategy to DFS contests with ownership and all that. Here's Steve, who had close to the nuts, just lost out on the 1v1 of Holani versus Trevion Henderson there. So some pretty good swings in the splash contest here. Oh God. Christopher says, just searched Epstein, got an email from DraftKings, need Lul's commentary. That is I need to look that up. That does sound right up our alley. Let's see here. I only had the finals in one of my guillotine leagues here. Let's see. Did I win anything in these guillotine leagues here? What did I have? I got chopped in that one. Oh yeah, this was this one I got chopped in the first one. The if you guys missed it, the guillotine playoff leagues are fun. You could either do the single chop or the double chop each week if you wanted to draft with more people. And there were waivers each week, so you could add. But you kind of had to wrestle with this idea of, do I just want to get the most players each week, or do I want to try to play the bracket essentially and only, add players who I think are going to go far, so I don't actually have to compete on the waiver? Okay. Looks like I did win one of these, thankfully. Although it looks like no one in this league was trying here. And I made sure to load up a full starting lineup of Seattle and Patriots in that one. So fun year playing guillotine, both the season long and the playoff format there. Man, we are reaching the end of the road here. Like I said, I am going to be taking a little bit of a break as far as before I hop into these big board streets. I still can't get over that we are already this far into this contest. I mean, there's been this contest already a quarter of the way full. The NFL season just ended, in the big board, which is supposed to be open until kickoff of the NFL draft. Also, I wanted to point this out. I thought Underdog said they were going to fix this. I did see online, if you're looking at the screen right here in the big board thing, it says it closes on September 10th, which is the start of the NFL season. I believe I have this correct because I saw a reply from someone on the Underdog draft team. This is going to lock at the NFL draft. That's when it always locks. I believe this is just a typo or whatever you want to call it, as having it there. I don't know if there's something with the contest dynamics that they're not able to update this, but I'm pretty sure this is not true. And it's not even going to matter because at this rate, this contest is going to fill well before the NFL draft here. NFL draft, the war room is already, what are we at here? 50% filled. So just some absolute sick shit there. But all kinds of stuff in the Underdog lobby these days. We have the Albatross with the majors. We got the Eliminator for MLB. Of course, the Dinger. I know Nez has been drafting some of those on the members only Badge Bros streams. And of course, we got the Dawg Bowl, NBA Dawg Bowl still cooking here. I need to touch base with the Badge Bros and our schedule for this week. My stuff is going to be a little intermittent over the next few weeks. I'm going to take some time off, but I will be hopping on here and there, probably for some Dawg Bowl streams and some stuff like that. But yeah, February is going to be fairly quiet for me around here. Flyfish, I got 10th in the big board 5, Pete. Yeah, exactly. That's going to hit like crack in the bio. You have a stream waiting that says 2027 big board drafts. Yeah, Mr. Brad, I'm very well aware that I have that scheduled. And yeah, I know everyone got really excited about 2026 drafts, but I think you can never be too early. So yeah, on January 23rd, 2027, I will be streaming 2027 big board draft. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Mr. Brad, circling back to playoff best ball, Puka was like 86% in the gauntlet final. Not sure what to take away from that one. No, I mean, it's just how hard it is to advance teams from bye week side. So on the NFC side, like to pull a lot of the Darnold or Ken Walker stuff, you needed a round one advance piece because JSN was scoring 0 points in round one. So I think the combos where you took Puka early because he got you through the first few rounds. And then obviously you needed Ken Walker, but you could build out back stacks. But that really was the nuts because JSN, he had a fine game in the conference championship, but what you really wanted was the Puka advance piece and then have Kenneth Walker, Darnold, Barner, whoever else to kind of round out the Seattle portion of the build. Let's see here. What do we do on Sundays now? Well, I will tell you, for me, it is keeping a toddler entertained and lately searching for any kind of indoor activity. I mean, what did we do last week? I saw that the Bass Pro Shop down at Foxborough, which isn't too far from where we are, they were doing a fish feeding. They have those big tanks there. And I said, all right, April, we're going to Bass Pro Shop and watching the fish get fed. And you know what? She actually loved it. They got to feed the turtles too. So that's one suggestion, Chris. I don't know if you have a child, but going and watching the fish get fed there. I can even show you a picture. Here you go. Here's a picture of what you can do at Bass Pro Shop on a Sunday. There you go. There's April. I'm holding her hand because she's perched up on this this rock wall here, watching these turtles who, I don't know what these turtles are doing. They weren't getting freaky. I think what they're trying to do is get closer to the light for sunbathing. And so this one just takes a ride on the other one. Yeah, there's April. She threw a bunch of the pellets in there. So that's one idea, Chris. That's one idea of what you can do on a Sunday. Let's see here. I will say, have you guys ever seen the video of the guy at Bass Pro Shop? I think it was one down in the South where he got absolutely hammered and jumped into the tank. And then the security was coming for him and he slipped out of the tank. Have you guys seen this? Let's just show this. So whenever I go and take April to the Bass Pro Shop and we go to that tank, I just cannot not think of this guy. Guy jumps in fish tank. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, watch. Have you guys seen this? All right, let's see. All right, are you going to show the video here? Oh, they didn't show it. I mean, I guess we don't need to watch it, but actually we do. I mean, at this point, yes, I realize this is mature content. I guess he's technically kind of naked here, but the whole build up to this is, yeah, that's probably why he doesn't want me to show it, because he naked. I love watching these security guards walk up. It's just hilarious to think, because this stuff, I mean, Bass Pro Shop, it's not like they're open that late. I mean, this is middle of the day in this guy. So he jumps and he chimes back in. Water is overflowing. He's having a conversation with the security guards, just butt naked. It is honestly impressive, the arrangements they have at these Bass Pro Shops. And these security guards, they don't know what to do. They're like, we're not jumping in here. And then he falls out. And this had to have hurt so bad. I mean, that's like, it's a good, I think he said it was 14 feet deep, the water, when I was there the other time. I mean, that's a 14-foot fall there. And then he bailed out these security officers because I feel like one of them was going to have to jump in and pull him out. And then he decided he was going to try to escape. But man, that guy had a rough day, an absolute rough day. Because then you're getting indecent exposure, all of that in addition to whatever other kind of trespassing charges you're getting. So yeah, I've had more family fun. This is what it looks like when I take my daughter to the Bass Pro Shop. Had you guys seen that before? I don't know how like viral of a clip that was, but that's all I think about anytime I go in there. I'll show you one other picture. This is where we're at in the portfolio review. We walk in to the Bass Pro Shop and I saw one of the biggest dogs I've ever seen. Check this thing out. Look at that good boy. This thing was massive. Just an absolute unit of a dog. And April was so scared of it. April normally likes dogs, is excited to go pet dogs. And this thing in here was just holding court. And April was like, no, that's a bear. I don't want anything to do with that good boy. That's a bear. So there you go. What other activities can you do on Sundays? It sounds really lame, but I'm very excited to go on some long walks. Some hikes, whatever you want to call it. Clear my head, maybe a little music, but just a long walk. I'm looking forward to that. Although that's probably going to be more during the week for me, because on the weekend, the long walks are a little tougher with the toddler. I'm going to be doing a couple of trips. I'll be going to the NBA Dawg Bowl with Underdog beginning of March. And then we're going to do a family trip to Florida end of March. So I'll have a couple of that to look forward to. But otherwise, it is kind of nice. It is kind of nice to have the full Sundays back, but you get bored quickly as well. So I get it. Let's see here. Ooh, you know what, Matthew? I was wondering about that. Matthew says, been getting in a lot of kiddo candlepin bowling these cold weather weeks. I have not done the bowling with April, and candlepin sounds like it would be perfect. I feel like the candlepin alleys are just few and far between, though, these days. Do you have? I assume you have one near you up there. I got to see where there's a close one. Maybe we should do let's do a kiddos candlepin bowling day, Matthew. That does sound like a great activity. The Fish Keeper, Great Pyrenees, awesome dogs. Thank you. I was trying to figure out what that dog was, and I was not a dog knower to know. Oh yeah, that looks right. The Great Pyrenees is a large, thickly coated, and immensely powerful working dog, bred to deter sheep-stealing wolves and other predators on snowy mountaintops, and to greet and terrify toddlers at the entrance of your local Bass Pro Shop. Draft and hike. There you go. Look at this. And we got all the Pyrenees people coming out in the chat. Golf sweats. Yeah. Can I just be honest about the golf stuff? I don't know how to sweat it because it's not going to be one of those things that I'm going to be able to sit and watch a ton of golf. Someone needs to teach me how to sweat golf. Someone needs to teach me how to, in a healthy way. I want to healthily sweat golf because it does seem fun. I'm jealous of all the fun people are having in the golf streets. Josh says it does rock when you suggest a rando activity to do with your kid and they end up absolutely loving it. For sure. Yeah. I mean, I think I've said this before, but there's, we have this thing, I think it's called like Kangaroo Community, and they aggregate all of the local kids activities, and most of them are from libraries and stuff, but it makes it very helpful. I just pull that up, try to find new activities, mix it up. We'll do the museums and stuff. Last week we did the quick overnight trip to go do the ice castles. You do get really good at coming up with activities. And it makes me think, like, pre-kids, I'm like, man, I feel like I was pretty lame. Like, I wasn't coming up. We would plan trips, but I didn't think through the lens of like day trips until you have a toddler. And I'm just like, I'll drive anywhere. You have some indoor activity that I could take a toddler to, I am there. Sign me up. We had a birthday party that we took April to yesterday before the Super Bowl, and some people are like, oh man, a birthday party on the Super Bowl? Oh, and I'm like, no, give me an activity anywhere, indoors, someone else providing the entertainment and the food. I am there. All right, we got people educating me on golf. All right, here, educate me on golf. Here we go. Honestly, with the cut sweat is the best part, trying to get 6 of 6 through. Okay, so similar to like the DK dynamic, you want to get the 6 golfers through there to have max amount of points on the weekend. can just check into round 1, then sweat cut line if that's in play, then into round 3 and watch round 4. Take naps during it if you want. Man, a nap sounds terrific. You had me at nap. For OAD, check who's chalk and anti-sweat the chalk. Yeah. Who won Waste Management yesterday? Did we have any? Oh yeah, it was Gotter Up. Okay. I kept mixing up Gotter Up and Collar Up in my head last week. Nick Collar Up, who was not active, for Elijah Arroyo instead. More like Nick Collar Down is what I say. Sorry, I had to get that out of my system. How many snaps did Elijah Arroyo end up playing yesterday? How many snaps? Because this is the kind of things, I literally redid my lineups, my showdown lineups. I had built them all, I think on either Friday or Saturday. And then I was like, fine, I'll redo them. I'll redo them because Elijah Arroyo is in. And obviously he didn't matter as far as in the box score, but I am actually curious if he did anything. Let's see here. Elijah Arroyo. All right. Why is this bugging on me? Come on. It's because I got to sign in. We'll look at the utilization one last time. Seahawks. Let's see here. Week 22. Is it not updated yet? Looks like it hasn't been updated yet. But DeFishkeeper says felt like he was out there a good bit. I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. Did he have a target? Did Elijah Arroyo have a target? You know what? I was about to go search Arroyo snaps on Twitter, but the site is so broken. 1, I won't be able to find it, and 2, I'll probably get like a dick pic again. Okay. Someone said, great block by Elijah Arroyo to spring Kenneth Walker. There you go. Okay, I knew it. I don't know what that was. I'm telling you, you cannot search anything on this app. I'm taking it off. Okay. Honestly, oh my God. Twitter search used to be really good. It used to be really functional. You could find what you look for. Oh my God. You know what? I guess I kind of did this. I established a precedent on this stream of watching a naked guy jump into the tank at Bass Pro Shop. I should have known that I was going to get another scene of male nudity when searching for Elijah Arroyo snaps. Oh my goodness. Ryan saying, can we get some likes? Honestly, I don't deserve them. I don't deserve them today. I don't deserve any likes. I'll earn the likes in 2026. How about, so, you know, I gave my answers. What are you guys doing on Sundays? What's the new Sunday plan here? What's the new Sunday plan? You know what we can also do? We can do a Dawg Bowl NBA draft. Even though I'm going to be completely lost without projections, it'll be funny. I did read my buddy Mike Zakarian's. He has his Substack, Bagel and Locks, where he breaks down the slate. Highly recommend checking that out, along with the Badge Bros, of course, if you guys are going to attempt to qualify here for the Dawg Bowl. What does this mean? We got to know, what's your 1 to 5 ranks? Is this some slang that I'm not picking up on? 1 to 5 ranks for what? Joking, empty period for me. Work, until NFL season starts again. Getting into the Olympics at all? You know what? I might. What are you guys excited to watch? Probably just going to dive into a new TV show, though, as opposed to watching on TV at night. I could potentially be sucked into some good Olympics narratives. Oh, look at this. Influencer 101 off the rip. Nikola Jokic. Come on down. I wonder if they will do a Dawg Bowl for baseball. I could see myself burning some money for that. That'd be cool. I mean, I'll tell you what, the NBA Dawg Bowls need to start filling though, if we want an MLB one. All right. I will take Nikola Jokic. Nice to have that layup there. I'm not drafting a big board. I got to keep myself pure. I could, but I'm not. I like having a little bit of a break. I'm in basketball mode right now. Watch golf. Oh, 1 to 5 ranks in the big board. Oh, sure. What? Bijan, Gibbs, Puka, JSN, Chase. It not necessarily in that order. Just off the top of the dome. I think Bijan and Gibbs, Chase, Puka, and JSN. What is it actually? Bijan, Puka, Gibbs, Chase. Okay. Wow. I will just say I had not looked at ADP. So I have a very similar off the gut. That looks good to me. That looks good. Yeah, the Lindsey Vonn stuff. So what? She was competing without an ACL and then crashed on her first run. Jeez. Yeah, March Madness is going to be fun. I will look forward to that. Splash should have some massive contests up. The one and done stuff is going to be very fun for that. Short track speed skating. Yeah, that's pretty fun. I think like I know they're doing, isn't Scott Hansen doing like Olympic zone or whatever that's red zone-esque? I do think the thing that the Olympics struggles with, there's just a lot going on in a way that makes it hard to follow or get, they do a good job sprinkling in storylines on the coverage. You're watching and they tell you the backstory and you get invested in that person. But I feel like it's just hard to get sucked in the way other major sporting events can pull you in. All right. I am on the clock here. Bam, Trey Murphy. I did know that Zakarian said he liked this spot for the Pelicans. He said he liked this spot for the Pelicans. Let's do Trey Murphy and Zion with Jokic here. Gold Zone. That's what it's called. I mean, great. Good for Scott Hansen. Sounds like a fun gig. Curling is hypnotizing. Yes, I definitely see the appeal of just zoning out to that. This is what do we have? Is this a 10-game slate? 10-game slate. Look at how sick this is. 10 p.m. Eastern for these 3 games to start. I'll be fast asleep. But yeah, this is a big slate. Yeah, 10 games. Look at B-Zigs coming in hot. Thank you, sir. Says thanks again for the content. See you in a few months for that first sweet coffee pour. Yeah, I think if I'm being completely realistic, it'll probably be right after the NBA Dawg Bowl. That's probably when I'll kind of dive back in. And then I'll have another break at the end of March when we do our family trip. But I think after the NBA Dawg Bowl, I'll be ready to flip my mental calendar over to 2026 teams, and we'll get that coffee pour going again. But yeah, congrats, B-Zigs. We pulled up your lineup earlier there on stream when we were going through the winners. Congratulations on that big hit. Such a nice feeling too. Like you get that if you're just an NFL bro and you get that big stimmy that hits the account and then it's just pure profit. You're not tempted to blast it off on other sports. You can take some profits off the table because it's the end of the season. All right. I am on the clock here, and this is where I'm mostly lost. Austin Reeves did come back. He's been playing well, right? I mean, he had 38 and 40, and Luka's not going to play tonight, correct? So we'll take Austin Reeves, and then let me get a little bit of my Portland stuff here. I do think Denny's questionable tonight. No shade in Sharp either. Yeah, Mike took Denny. I'm going to take Klingon, though. I'm going to take Klingon here. And who knows? Maybe Denny doesn't go, and then we get a little CLV on Klingon here. Jupiter says, GMP, hope you're having a good show. We're trying to get it back on the rails, brother. We did have another dicey Twitter search. We had a previously dicey Twitter search on a cram show that I did from Kansas City. And some things popped up on screen that weren't supposed to. So we had another close call earlier. I vamped for about 15 minutes about activities you could do on a Sunday. So we're really grasping at straws here for content at the end of this 2025 season. But I would call it a solid C+ show so far. How about another coffee pour? Could another coffee pour bring it up into the B- range? Can we get this up to a B-? Let's see here. B-Zigs. The K9 TD getting called back saved me close to 12.5K. Man, some of the swings there at the end with the Rhamondre TD, that K9 TD getting called back, the Henderson play at the end. I mean, tens of thousands of dollars getting swung in either direction there at the end of the Super Bowl. Yo says, large dog, kid feeding turtles, drunk dude in a tank. The show's at least an A-. All right, I'll take it. I mean, we have exhibited range. We went from Showdown DFS review to viral videos from the Bass Pro Shop to Sunday ideas with a toddler, and now we're drafting NBA Dawg Bowl teams. All right, who am I going to take with my last pick here? Let's see. Do we have the VJ Edgecombe? Con Canoopel? Yeah, let's do VJ. We'll do VJ. We'll play a little mini correlation there between Donovan and VJ there in the last round. So there it is. Dawg Bowl, Jokic, Trey Murphy, Zion, Austin Reeves, Klingon, VJ. Get in those streets. 8,562 entrants, $15. I assume the Badge Bros will be live later today, breaking it down for everybody. And yeah, who we got to stop John from winning, right? I mean, John has already won. What is it? Two seats. Good old John boy. 2 seats. Save some for the rest of us. Save some for the rest of us, John. Man, isn't that sad, guys? I feel like that's it. That's it. Underdog giving me all these profit boosts. I do. Okay. This is how they pull me in. I have a gimme pick. This is the best I can give you guys for tonight. Let's see here. Let's pick a guy who's actually going to play. Let's get a guy who's actually going to play. LeBron James. We're going to send him to 0 with our gimme pick. And then should we just have fun? It's a $10 max. Should we find a triple double in here? All right, chat. Tell me, Who's going to get a triple-double tonight? Don't say Jokic because that's 0.86. I need a long shot triple-double. Tell me, chat. Which of these NBA players, Derek Queen, Dyson Daniels, Julius Randle, Jalen Suggs, Nurkic, Paolo, Kevin Porter Jr., we already used LeBron, although we could switch out the freebie if we want him, Jalen Johnson, Cade Cunningham, LaMelo Ball, James Harden. Tell me. I need it. I need it. Which one of these guys is getting a triple-double? Cade? Jalen Johnson, I did see, has been playing a ton of minutes. What did he have? Or not? No, I might be thinking of someone else. I guess he had 31 minutes last. Or no. Yeah. He had 39 minutes. Yeah, he's 38, 39. He's been close. Look at this. Dude, is Jalen Johnson our guy? I guess it's only a 1.53. He's been. What about Cade? Cade has the triple-double in his bag. Im Stockton likes the Jalen Johnson. The problem is it's just a 4.59x. And I guess it just, I just need a little something more. What about Cade? I mean, his minutes were way down last game, but before he was at 38-37, he had 38-8, 29-2-10. Cade feels like a fun little one. Get us a 24x there on a triple-double for Cade Cunningham tonight. Feel free to do Jalen Johnson. He does look like a better bet for a trip dub. All right. That's all I got for you guys. It's all I got for you. It's been a fun portfolio review season. Always enjoy doing this Monday show. Like I said, going to take a few weeks off, probably from the Monday shows. My schedule will be a little all over the place, but we'll be sprinkling in probably a lulls, maybe a ship chasing. I'll definitely be swinging in and doing some shows with the Badge Bros. Got to become a little baseball thought leader, golf thought leader. I'll have some after darks as well. It's just going to be a little more sporadic, but I will do my best to communicate that in the Discord and on X. And also, the best place to kind of keep up to date on stuff is I'm still doing my recaps of the week in my P.O. Box newsletter. So that's the free newsletter there. And of course, writing the Fantasy Life newsletter during the week as well. Would love if you guys subscribed to the P.O. Box newsletter, completely free. I'll be dropping that in your inboxes probably on Friday mornings going forward. But yeah, otherwise, great season, guys. Always fun, sweating, strategizing, and shooting the shit with you guys. Certainly make this a fun experience, especially when you're not winning. It really is the friends you make along the way when you're not winning, which I wasn't doing for a large portion of this season. But good to finish on a high note here. And good luck with your golf, with your baseball, with your hoops, all of that good stuff. I will obviously be around, just not at the normal frequency. Feel free to hit me up if you ever have any questions about stuff. And otherwise, have a great rest of your Monday. And we'll see you back here soon enough to draft some football teams. Peace.